Hi, I'm Fred. Welcome to the Forever Bedrock realm. Today I'll be building the best possible mud farm in Minecraft Bedrock. If I forgot to put an image of it here, just skip ahead to the end, look at it real quick, and then jump back here. Okay? Okay. On the way to building the best mud farm in Minecraft Bedrock, we'll be building two other farms. A basic mud farm and a clay farm. For this, you'll need an area of 20 by 21 by 18. 20 across, 21 up, and then 18 tall. Although 5 of those are going to be in the ground. If you want to do the basic mud farm, you only need 20 by 19 by 8. And if you want to do the clay farm, it's 20 by 19 by 10. I highly suggest that you pause it and rebuild this wherever you want to build this farm, because all of these different colors will help you figure out where all the different parts go. There are 6 steps for the basic mud farm, and 7 steps each for the clay and best mud farm. Step 1 is in white, step 2 is in orange, step 3 is in light blue, step 4 is in purple, step 5 is in lime, step 6 is in blue, step 7 for the clay farm is the magenta square, step 7 for the best mud farm is the magenta and pink together. I'll have a full list of materials in the description. Step 1 is the item sorter and dropper return. You'll need these items. First step is to get rid of the white wool. Then dig out these 4 blocks and that one. Put a solid block here, solid block there. Remember, we want non-natural blocks to put redstone on. That way we don't get confused. Target block goes there. Torch there. Another solid block there, and another solid block there. Then let's get our dropper. Put it straight up. Grab our hoppers. And make sure that your hopper line goes into each one of them ahead of it. Comparator will read this last hopper that goes into it. You'll need 4 blocks that give you good advice and won't be confused for anything else. And 41 empty bottles. Step 2 is the mud maker in orange. You'll need these 9 items. This time you can leave the wool where it belongs and won't interfere with anything. So put a dispenser here, come around the back, put an observer into it. When crouching on top of this, we put a hopper, and then a chest, then 3 solid blocks, a repeater facing this way, a repeater facing this way. Crouch and put a target block there. Switch, and that'll turn that on. Step 3 is the bottle filler in light blue. Now for this one, you're going to need all these redstone components, plus 10 stacks of empty bottles. You will want scaffolding as well to climb around it easier. 3 blocks there. Comparator, a block there. Lever, redstone. Flick the lever. This block is here to stop it from interfering with future redstone. Technically it's not needed if you're just doing a bottle filler. Slab here, slab here. Remove this temporary slab, but don't lose it because you're going to need it. Redstone there. Solid block, solid block. Put a hopper lead into the chest. Redstone torch. Block on top of the torch, and there. On that redstone, and on that redstone. Temporary block. Block. Remove said block. Comparator. Torch. Repeater. And dispenser. Put in temporary block again. Trapdoors on either side. Slab on top. Get your temporary block back. That will cause problems. Place the water against a solid block. And put your hopper into that. Now we want to start putting in the glass bottles. We want to try to fill in as many of these as we can at first, because otherwise, yeah, those full ones will start taking up all the space. Just make sure that all the spaces are filled with empty bottles. It would probably be smarter to flip that lever down there to turn off the system while you're loading it. And if you want to get rid of water for your empty bottles, just drink it. So now what you should have is a full dispenser here for the mud, the full hopper above it, a full chest above that, and anywhere between 0 and 5 water bottles in that hopper. Step 4 is the rest of the dropper elevator. You will need these items, at least a stack of glass, probably a little bit more. You want to remove this block of purple wool. As your standard dropper reader clicky clocky thingy. Official terms. So we'll throw these blocks here temporarily, just because. Not really necessary. So the important thing with the glass is this plus shape. This dropper elevator works by shooting things up this middle column. It goes up until it runs across an open section and it'll shoot out in that direction. This will work with solid blocks too. Glass just looks cooler, so I do it in glass. And we'll also want to protect our redstone. Just build this up. I realized I forgot to put solid blocks underneath this redstone. I will come back and do that later. There should be 7 off this level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Continue this direction till you're on top of that comparator. This direction you want to go 1 extra. Get rid of that bottom piece. So now you should have your tower up here, 1 extra block in this direction, a smooth path, a drop down, straight to your hopper. I like to throw a button there. It's probably not necessary, but for some reason I just don't like covering my hoppers with water. You know it works when it doesn't flood out the redstone you have below it. And at this point, we should be able to make mud. Now you'll notice we didn't get a bottle return, and that's because this hopper gets locked down here, so there's always an extra one. So if you do another block, you'll see that goes up, takes its way back into the hopper into the system. Technically this is a fully functioning mud farm. Don't stop here, it would be super annoying to use. Step 5 is the row and column pusher and the lime. For this step, you'll need these, I almost said ingredients, these items. We start by putting some solid blocks down. We switch to glass here so we don't interfere with this redstone going on with the sorter. Hamper. Repeater coming out of there, a repeater going in here on 2 ticks. Now this timing may be different. If something goes wrong, and you'll know if it goes wrong, change the timer on this one and the other one we'll see soon. Bunch of redstone to here. And then 12 more pistons. Put a temporary block there. Observer there. Put these 8 blocks here. Boop, boop. Build the same circuit we just did. So this one we're going to add another repeater here so the redstone line gets all the way down to the end there. Do, 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 do. Boo. The way this works is put a block here, it makes mud, it gets shoved this way. After 12, the push limit, it comes up here. You saw how they kind of went haywire there? Let's test our timings. 3. That seemed fine. 4. That locked up. 1. So 3 seem to work now. So 3 seem to work better this time. I've had it work on 2. I've had it work on 1. Bedrock is weird. Realms make it weirder. So now if we stand here, should be able to place a block here and get mud and then have it pushed. And then when we get all the way to the end, it'll push forward. And I can hold down my controller button. If I'm playing with a mouse and keyboard, I could hold down the mouse button. So it works nice and quick. Now that's all well and good until you realize that this will create a square of 144 mud blocks out of 144 dirt, which is much more than 1 or even 2 stacks of dirt. So we need a dirt filler. Step 6 in blue. For this you'll need this. It's there. Dispenser there. Hopper. Chest. And 2 blocks. I'm using glass. You could use solid blocks. Now if I just put it in half of this stack of dirt in here and give myself the other half, when I place one down to turn into mud, you'll notice it gets instantly replaced. And it's hooked into the system, so it only gives me 1 when I put one. It is at this point that you are done with the basic mud farm. Congratulations! I'll talk to you later. But wait, there's more. Let's build a clay farm. Yay! To turn mud into clay, you just need a solid block with a piece of pointed dripstone hanging from it. You put it up there, and after a random number of ticks, it'll turn to clay. So step 7 for the clay farm uses that fact, and the fact that we're creating a giant sheet of mud over this magenta square. The items you'll need are 2 stacks and 16 of solid blocks and the same of pointed dripstone. First step is to dig up all this magenta wool, and then dig out the row beneath it too. I'll put a line of 1, followed by a line of the other. You can put the blocks back underneath if you want to. You don't have to. It doesn't really matter either way. It's also nice that you can put dripstone next to each other like that rather than have to hang it directly from each block, which is actually a slower process. When you get to this point, you're going to dig yourself out a little bit. If you start with the same number, you didn't end with the same number, a different problem has happened. And now as we create mud and it gets pushed forward, you can see that it turns into clay. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. But if you fill it up, 2 stacks plus 16, then you'll get 144 clay to call your own. Clay blocks even. That's a lot of clay. Who needs that much clay? No one. Let's tear this down and make the best mud farm possible. It's time for the granddaddy of them all. Step 7B is the redstone lifter in magenta and pink. You'll need these items to make it. Now, if you didn't build the clay farm on your way to build this farm, understandable. Just pretend this isn't dug out yet. Dig the square of the magenta blocks down 4 total levels, including the magenta blocks. The 5th layer down, we just want to cut a little path through the middle for some redstone. Now here is where the terracotta comes in, so our honey and slime blocks don't get caught up on it. So we want to do this on all 4 sides. Now here comes a clever bit. Okay, so this entire thing is built on the premise of lifting up those giant 144 squares of mud we make. Now it's easy to push blocks down. It's harder to lift them up in large squares. So we get 6 honey blocks, 6 slime blocks, and we alternate all the way down. So each one of these rows is actually its own circuit. That also means you need to alternate side to side as well. And now we create a giant block of redstone blocks. Fill it all in. Isn't she purty? And now we go to the regular pistons. And quite frankly, the easiest way I found to do that is by putting down the dirt, then the pistons, then picking up the dirt. You can do this for like the first 10 or 11 rows. And this last row you have to do it this way because otherwise you're going to mess everything up. Don't mess everything up. You're almost done. Yeah, that's a lot of pistons. Ignore all this. This is unauthorized. I'm making this from the future because I found a better way. The first thing you need to do is break these 5 wool blocks. Okay, dig these 2 blocks. Take this one 2 down. Take this one down to be in line with that redstone line there, so you can put in a block here. The repeater goes there. Redstone dust there. Then you grab another solid block, put it here. Torch there. Redstone dot there. Stone blocks here. Torch there. Now turn that off. Now in this corner, you put these 4 solid blocks there. Repeater that way. Repeater this way. Lever turned on. Redstone there, there, and there. This is just sending our redstone down to that line. And so with this one, when all that stack gets down to this point, it lifts up. And so now with our chest full of dirt, we can start placing it. And why a chest full? A shulker is really hard to say. And why a chest full? Because that holds 1,728 dirt blocks, which is the same amount of mud you will get out of this farm in one go. And now all you need to do is grab a shovel. This block actually has more than a chest full of mud in it because I just kept reloading dirt into this and going until it stopped. Once it's full, it's not getting any more fuller. So this is actually 12 by 12 by 13 plus an extra 13 mud here. I'm going to keep digging. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I did build this entirely in survival on a realm. Check out the rest of us on Forever Bedrock. Links are in the description. If you like this redstone build, check out this video on my hidden door. I'll catch y'all later.